1, this is dispatch.
Hello YouTube, Buck Rub here. Welcome to another edition of Buck Wild Trucking. As always, I appreciate you watching. I'm here in sunny Southern California, right outside of Los Angeles. I'm at the True Light Glass and Aluminum plant in City of Industry, which is a suburb just east of Los Angeles. It's not really all that sunny either. It's kind of, I don't want to call it overcast. It's probably more smoggy than anything. But it's a nice day. It's in the low 70s. I've got the windows down, and I'm just kind of enjoying the morning. My appointment here was for 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I sent my fleet manager a message this morning to ask him if I could possibly deliver early, and he said just come on over and try to deliver early. I got over here and they asked me what time my appointment was, and I told them, and they said, well, maybe we could get you unloaded around 11:30. So we'll see if that happens or not. It was pretty interesting getting in here. It's you know, it's on a busy street that's fairly narrow, and I would have pulled right in here if there hadn't been another glass truck leaving, who stopped me and said, "Hey man, you gotta back in here." Well, fortunately, there's a warehouse building across the street that it appears to be unoccupied, and I was able to pull in that driveway and get backed out and backed into this one, which I'm kind of staged over from the docks over here, where I assume I'm going to back into this big one. I say big one, it's kind of narrow. I think the trailer will barely fit, but it shouldn't be any problem getting in here. I got a fairly wide driveway, and it should go in fairly easily. But this is my first delivery with Maverick, so we will see how it goes. I don't think I've made a video since I was at the Galloway Hotel in Little Rock, and finishing up my training there. And Monday, after my last video, I spoke with my fleet manager, who gave me the what for of what I was going to be doing and where I'd be going, and they rented me a car that Monday, where I went home and spent the week of Thanksgiving at home. And it was nice to have a little time off. It was kind of boring. My wife had to work every day that week, so I had a few errands I had to run, but for the most part, I just kind of chilled out and vegged, prepare for, you know, coming back to Maverick. On Monday after Thanksgiving, I called my fleet manager. He made arrangements to get me a rental car, where I went to, I took the rental car to Burnett, Texas, which is our North Texas terminal, and when I got there Monday night, they issued me my truck. It's a nice truck. It's a 2014 Cascadia. I'm not going to give you a truck tour. It looks like any other 2014 Cascadia. It's a mid-roof. It's an old trainer truck, so it's got an upper bunk. Most of these trucks don't have the upper bunk. I've got an extra inverter, because if you're a trainer, you have to have the ability to run a CPAP machine if your student requires that. And then it's got an air ride seat, which my wife is going to love, because she hated the seat that was in my International. And I gotta tell you, I really like it. It's got lots of power. It gets good fuel mileage. It climbs hills nice. It's a lot more comfortable than my ProStar was, and I enjoy the truck. It's a good looking truck, and it's comfortable to sleep in. Doesn't have the cabinet space that my ProStar had, but As I have spent the night in it, I've moved stuff from one cabinet to another cabinet, determined where stuff seems to fit better. I have a lot more room under my bunk to store stuff there as well, and I think this truck is going to work out just fine for me, and I'm sure I'll be in it for a couple of years. If I stay with Maverick a couple of years, I'm sure I'll be in this truck, because they're just now trading in the 2013s. And replacing them, so I'm sure I'm a couple years in this truck. Trying to get acclimated to paper logs, trying to get acclimated to a governed truck. That's all kind of new for me, but I think it's coming along. A lot of macros I have to learn, which I have a notepad which has them all wrote down on that I'm picking up as time goes on. So anyway, I got my truck Monday night, and it had a few problems that I found in pre-trip, but they had a shop right there, and they was able to get it in. They installed my CB for me. However, the CB that's built into the Cascadias are terrible. I checked my SWRs, and they were way above 9, so I'm sure this antenna system has a bad ground in it somewhere. But I ran up to the truck stop and got the stuff to put my antenna on the truck, and now I'm rocking and rolling and able to talk smack on my CB again, which I did not like not being able to do. Tuesday morning I got up and I went and started my dock work training at the PPG plant, which I believe now is called Vitro. I think Vitro bought PPG out. There I met up with my trainer. His name was Randy. He'd been he's a Maverick dock worker, and I think he'd been there for about 3 years, and he was very helpful and gave me a lot of useful information that I didn't learn in class. A lot of things that are done out here in the real world that aren't done in the classroom setting, and I got to learn that stuff as well. So Randy was a big help. Randy, if you're watching this, thank you very much. So primarily what I did on the docks was we would load trailers for the dedicated guys. It seems like the over the road glass guys do more live loading, and the dedicated guys, which are running specific companies, they get to pick up preloaded trailers, and we would load these preloaded trailers. And the way it would work is the glass factory workers have these big cranes where they bring the glass in and set it on the trailer, and then the dock workers secure that load, tarp that load, tie that down partially, not all the way, and then send that trailer out to be picked up. And then when the Maverick driver will come and hook up to that trailer, he will be able to lift up that tarp, check the securement for himself, finish securing the tarp itself, and then be on the road. And that's what I did for 3 days. I was there until Thursday, which Terry, who is the dock manager, came up to me and said, "You're doing fine. Go ahead and call your fleet manager and tell him you don't need to come back to the docks anymore. You're ready to take a load." I think I probably could have used a couple more days on the dock. I didn't get to see every trailer that came in. I didn't get to do any jumbo loads, which as time goes on and I do more videos, I'll explain what the different glass is. But jumbos are bigger panes of glass that have to go on a double drop trailer, and I didn't get to secure any of those on the dock, and I wish I would have gotten to, because my first load was a double drop trailer with jumbo panes of glass. So anyway, Friday morning, I got my first load. It wasn't until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was hoping for an early load so I could get some miles, but it really didn't matter because I had till Monday to get here to California. But that first load was a jumbo on a double drop, and it took me about 3 hours to secure and tarp that load. And I wouldn't have been able to do it that quickly had another Maverick guy that was next to me. He happens to be a glass trainer. He came over and helped me finish it up. But I'm sure as time goes on, I'll get faster at it, and it'll go a lot smoother. But I was kind of frustrated. It took a lot of time, to get it done. Plus, I was being rushed by the PPG guys to pull out so that they could pull another trailer in, and I think I got a little frustrated, and it took me longer than it should have. There shouldn't be any reason that once the glass is loaded on your trailer, that in an hour and a half, you have it strapped down, secured, and tarped. but we'll see as time goes on. But I'm really appreciative of the dock training. I didn't want to go to the dock. When I finished my training, I wanted to get my truck, I wanted to do a load, I wanted to hit the road and start driving again. It had been a month since I drove, and I really wanted to be back out here. I was kind of frustrated I had to do this dock training. For those of you that have been following the Maverick Glass videos that other people have done, I'm sure you've seen Berna's videos. She had mentioned that if you get the opportunity to go do the dock training, to do it. Well, I think it was an option maybe when she got hired, and it's a requirement now. All new hires that are going into the glass division are going to go to the dock and do dock training. So don't get frustrated, don't get aggravated. It is a positive thing, and you're going to get to see more of what needs to get done. So after that was loaded, I hit my run. I only drove, 2 or 3 hours that night. It was raining, it was late, so I stopped and spent the night, I believe, in Abilene, and then I hit the road again. Shout out to Next Generation Trucker. If you're not following him on YouTube, I encourage you to go look him up. I met him on the road. We were kind of stalking each other, but we talked a lot on Facebook and on the phone. We're both from Houston, but we had never met. So this time we finally got to meet. We broke bread together, and we met up with each other a couple of times as we were both coming to LA. So that was a good time as well. So now here I am. I'm waiting to be unloaded. I'm hoping they'll come out here anytime, and I'll be able to back into this dock and get this done. Hey, I want to give another shout out to Jay. Jay is a new subscriber to my YouTube. He's in the military right now. Thank you very much for your service, Jay. He's been looking into the Maverick Glass and asked some questions and wanting more videos, and so I figured I better post an update. I've had a lot of other messages asking if I have videos of the glass actually being loaded, and no, I do not. These glass factories, at least PPG, does not allow any videotaping in their facility. I guess it's a trade secret or something on how this gets loaded. So I do not have any video of that. I'm sure in the future there are some places that'll allow it, but the ones that don't allow it, I'm not going to video at. And if I get the opportunity, I'll show you how it's done, how it's loaded. It's pretty neat. It's pretty simple. Comes in with a crane with some straps. It gets lowered, and then the strapping. I do all my videos on an iPhone right now. I don't have a tripod, so maybe when my wife comes on the road with me, I can get her to get some video of me actually securing the load and tarp it, edited down so it doesn't take 3 hours of video, and you can get the gist of how it does. For those of you guys that are considering coming to Maverick and you're looking at both flatbed and glass, I can only tell you what I know. I know that glass pays more cents per mile. When the recruiter talks to you, they're going to tell you that you're going to average less miles than flatbed, and that may be true during the majority of the time of the year, but remember that during the wintertime, flatbed slows down dramatically. Glass is covered, and these glass plants work all the time. I think in the long run, you're going to have more consistent paychecks with the glass facility. And one of my favorite aspects of it is that your loading and your unloading is done inside. You go inside these warehouses, because if this glass gets wet, it's ruined. So you're inside when you're loading and unloading this stuff. So think about that come inclement weather time. For those of you that are hardcore, that's probably not a big deal. But for me, I don't like standing in the rain and snow and ice. I would much rather be inside. And I'm really glad that I chose the glass aspect of it. So I'm going to shut this down. Hey, happy birthday to Little Dog Trucker. William Kling. If you guys aren't checking him out, go check him out. He's